They out here proposing some pretty wild ideas for 2K25. But the question is, will they even work? I'm talking about 2K25 being free to play. You guys will no longer have to buy the base unit game. Imagine no longer having to grind your build's attributes. You can now buy a build at 99 overall. Because what they're proposing is you no longer grind for attributes like you've done in previous 2Ks. You will now be grinding for accolades and animations. And this all comes from somebody who's pretty closely tied and affiliated with 2K. If any of you guys are new here and you want to stay up to date on the latest information about 2K, drop a like and drop a sub if you can.
It's AllCity. Load up that clip.
Do you guys think any of the ideas previously mentioned will get you excited to play 2K25? Considering it'll cost you guys nothing. You could download and play the game just like that without having to pay for it. Similar to if you guys got on Warzone. Go out there, you're able to get a gun, they'll give you a gun. It ain't like you're gonna download Warzone and not have a gun to go out there and play. Well, that basic concept is what a 2K insider is proposing for 2K25. You download your free-to-play game, you go out there, get yourself a build, but it's a bare bones build. It's not a 60 overall. You'll be able to get yourself a high overall build, but just like in Warzone, you're gonna have to grind for animations. In Warzone, you grind for skins, attachments, and such. For 2K25, they're proposing the idea that you now grind for accolades and you'll grind for animations. You want that Trae Young floater, you gotta grind for it. And that grind will entail you guys completing certain tasks through online gameplay, similar to Call of Duty. You want that Curry escape or Curry jump shot, you'll now have to grind for it. It's not just a matter of unlocking it when you reach a certain attribute threshold. Completing in-game challenges and tasks will help mold your player into the player you want to be. And these type of changes are all being made in an effort to prevent meta builds, overpowered builds from taking over 2K. And these changes are also intended to keep players on the game, keep players wanting to play 2K. Now, initially, I didn't think these ideas would work because I couldn't understand how they would generate enough money for 2K. You see, if any new gameplay ideas were to be incorporated into NBA 2K25, it'd have to make the same amount of money, if not more money than what they're used to. And I was feeling skeptical of these ideas until I heard about purchasing special builds. You guys want that Kobe Black Mamba-ish type of build? You can now buy it. Or maybe even purchasing NBA player skins. You want to look like Luke out there? You can now buy it. And after hearing this, that's when the reality of 2K incorporating these ideas into 2K25 really started to sink in. In this video, we're gonna be looking at what 2K insider Uncle Demi had to say about the new ideas being considered for 2K25. Let's listen in. By the way, guys, I will have a link to Uncle Demi's full video in the description below in case you guys want to catch the whole thing. In this video, we're just gonna highlight some of the new ideas that 2K insider Uncle Demi is talking about.
This is not new to 2K because the NBA 2K League, they use template builds, all right? Everybody that watches the NBA 2K League, there are literally 10 to 15 different builds at each position that these pro players have to select from. They cannot customize it any way, shape, or form. And the reason being is because you want to make sure you have an even playing field all the way around, correct?
Now, right off rip, after hearing that, guys, is that something that you would like to see incorporated into 2K25? Set builds. There's builds that are already set up for you. You guys cannot choose your height. You can't choose your weight. These builds are preset for you. Sound off in the comment section. We're going to let this thing play over.
So by having every single person having to select from just these pool of players, you actually can create, in my opinion, in which I think universities accept it, a very neutral, unbiased, balanced build system because everybody's using the same builds. Okay, so again, that doesn't take away the fact that there's going to be some.
Now, I just want to quickly add, I don't like the idea of everybody using the same builds. I know a lot of you guys are just like, oh, hell no, we don't want everybody out there with the same builds. But as the video continues to play on, you'll get the idea of how to mold these particular template set builds, how to mold them into like your own play style. We'll let this thing play off and let him elaborate.
Some meta in that, all right? But the way that this works, and I can talk about how this can take away the meta, is we can talk about Apex Legends and Call of Duty. We can look at these template builds just like weapons in Apex and Call of Duty. When there's an overpowered weapon, or in this case, an overpowered build, guess what? You can nerf it. You can make some adjustments to it. Okay, maybe you take down some of the three-point shooting, or maybe you take away some of the animations, because each build, template build, is going to be stocked with unique animations, dribble animations, jump shots, and of course, dunk animations, or whatever animations are in the game, leaners and that type of deal.
So do you guys hear that? The idea of these template builds already being stocked with certain animations to help you get by and just get on the game and compete. But if you guys end up wanting more animations, different animations to help fit your play style, you'll have to grind for those type of things. One thing that I want to mention real quick that I didn't like that he said was 2K being able to, I don't think any of us like hearing that type of stuff, 2K being able to nerf an entire build. I guess on the flip side of that, they could actually buff builds, but 2K just has too much control over assets that we don't pay for. And I think that's the route that they kind of need to steer clear from that. We'll let this joint play on. You guys let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section.
By nerfing a build, it could easily be like, man, this build is absolutely cracked, right? You know, like this size up is just so overpowered. You change the size up, right? And then the community has to adjust. What it does is, the reason why we can't make adjustments now on NBA 2K when it comes to overpowered animations like the Patty Mills jump shot base, or the Kemba Walker escape, or Steve Francis size up, right? All these overpowered animations is because people spend money on builds. And if some little Timmy spent, $200 to make a build because he wanted to make sure he got Steve Francis, and then all of a sudden you nerf Steve Francis, well, you got yourself an issue. So that's the reason why, if you make a template build, which everybody has already seen, it works in the 2K League, centers, power forwards, that type of deal. Each one will have their own unique bases, animations, and that type of sort. And it's not going to be all on one person, right? So maybe Steve Francis is only going to be on one, but that one person, he might be smaller, right? So now you have to worry about 6'6" overpowered builds. There isn't going to be an overpowered build because everything is kind of moved aside. Now, here's the question. A lot of you are going to be like, well, I want that super, I want to be able to have the, all the animations. I want to have that type of deal. Well, this is where it comes to grind, okay? You got to grind for those things.
There's a big change. This is a game changer. In 2K25, proposing the idea of now grinding for animations and accolades over attributes to unlock animations could potentially change the way we look at 2K in general. But one thing I will mention is 2K is always good at marketing, always putting stuff down on paper. Where they oftentimes have trouble and disconnect from the player pace is the execution on those ideas. So even though some of these ideas may sound great, how will 2K implement them, and how will they executed? What does that mean for you, the player? What does that grind look like just trying to get a Curry jump shot? 2K has always had trouble matching incentives to your grind. Let's let this thing keep.
But again, this is open discussion, so I do look at the comment sections. So let's say, for instance, you have these 15 to 20 builds for each position, okay? But then you are able to I guess you can work your way to adding additional badges to that build, but it takes a grind to do it, right? Not one of those my career grinds where you sit there all day and just play against the CPU and throw up 100 threes and no, you literally have to grind for it. Just like you do in Apex and Call of Duty, you have to get to upgrade these weapons. You have to do a lot of different things in the process of playing the game, not playing against CPUs, right? It's just a process of playing, and it takes time to where you can eventually accumulate, that Trae Young escape or whatever it might be. Maybe it's not the a dribble animation. Maybe it's just about you had a lockdown, but now you're working your way towards getting that lockdown, the ability to be able to shoot.
It sounds dope. I like this new thought, this new approach to play 2K, adding weapons to my player that my player otherwise in previous builders wouldn't have been able to have. Uncle Demi mentioning your lockdown, being able to shoot, primarily selecting a build with set defensive attributes, and then go out there and grind completing shooting objectives to help turn your lockdown into an official shooter. It sounds fun and it sounds like great ideas, but does 2K really want you to no-life the game? That's the huge question. What type of grind is it going to be? Now, 2K players, we never shy away from the grind. But when we're grinding for some and we actually accomplish that grind, the incentive for completing that grind has to translate on the court. And I think that's where 2K oftentimes runs into trouble, disrespecting our time. We're just going to let this joint play off.
Where you can make those adjustments, you can make those enhancements, you can nerf, you can buff, you can do all that. And that to me will create a very, very competitive environment, because now if 2K is seeing something that's overpowered, you can nerf it and the community is not going to be in an uproar. Like for right now, again, I said in my last video, the Car 98 is absolutely cracked, right? But, you know, eventually there will be a nerf on that. It'll be a nerf. And then again, there'll be another weapon, or there might be a batch of weapons that will be good. So remember, look at player models like weapons in the game. Make adjustments to those player models, make adjustments on their shooting attributes as each season goes by, or make hot patches real quick to fix certain things to keep it balanced. And I guarantee you, you're gonna see so many different builds on the park, in the rec, in the pro-am. Why? Because there's going to be so much adjustments and based upon play styles, right? Slashing, shooting, right? Just because you're a sharp shooter, you might not have the best dribble sigs. Maybe the slashers have the best dribble sigs, but the slashers, they can't shoot as well. You see what I'm saying? So you can make that balance to where now, again, everybody's making 6-6s. They don't really care about the defense. Like, there's just a lot of things that are just broken in the game to where people take advantage of it. But when you have that, like the 2K League, guess what? You will have a more balanced environment.
Now, I will say the ideas that Uncle Demi is presenting, they sound really good. And I would like to offer some final thoughts on these concepts and ideas. One of the first things that came to mind watching this video is that 2K lacks innovation. And although these are some innovative ideas for sports gamers, this would simply be taking Call of Duty's model and attempting to apply it to 2K. And I believe 2K, they have enough money. They have more than enough experience developing 2K games. And I would like to see 2K come to a point where they're no longer looking outside for ideas, where ideas are generated in-house. The reason why I'm mentioning that, especially for the next-gen versions of 2K that have been released over the last few years, it seems like they're trying to take from other games that have proven to be successful. Why can't 2K come up with their own concepts? One of the main reasons I'm bringing this up is because when 2K tries to follow the concept from another gaming company or another genre of gaming, it's us, the players, that have to consistently go through years of trial and error. And there's just been too many ideas that just been scrapped and swept under the rug. And it's us, the players, year in and year out, that serve as the guinea pigs to giving these new gameplay challenges a shot. Similar to what we experienced with shot timing fluctuations. On paper, it sounds like a great idea. The execution, extremely poor. And maybe having 2K25 be free to play wouldn't affect me as much as a player. You see, me being a guinea pig for something that I paid for, that's what really gets me upset. Free to play damn near changes everything. Because when it's free to play, there's something in me that kind of feels like, all right, it's me. I'm making this choice to play this game. I don't feel obligated because I done paid for it and put money into it. How do you guys feel about that? Is that something that'll change your thought process on 2K games? Would you be more excited for a free-to-play game where you grind for animations and accolades over grinding for attributes? Y'all share your thoughts, sound off in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join our Discord. We'd love to have you. The link for Discord will be in the description below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K24 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.